Hey guys, this is Bhushan and you're watching Cloudy Rathore, and in this video we will talk about using functions in Python. Using function is an awesome experience in Python. So let's get started. So first of all, I will start my PyCharm and I will make the font size a little bit, increase the font size so that it will be easy to. Now I will make one file and then name it function tut. Okay, so the first of all, what is function? So function is a block of code which run when called. Okay, and function should return a value. So the basic difference between a function and a procedure is a function always return a value. And in Python, means if you are from C, C++ or Java background, you know the pain of using function. Means we need to think about the prototype, we need to think about the return types and all these things. But in Python, no need to bother about all these things. And here, the easiest way to make a function is to write a def keyword. So just write get def keyword and just write the function name. Just you need to give a round bracket, and then your function is ready for the use. Now you need to just make a block of code, and here I will write hello world. This is and now we are ready. So how to call this function? So just write a function and then we need to run it. Now is hello world. This is my first function. Okay, so here we call the function, but this function is without argument. Now if we go with the argument, the function with argument, then we need to write something here, because as I already told you, if you are from C, C++ background, then you need to bother about the function, the prototype, and obviously the data type of the argument. But here no need to bother about the same. So suppose if I write name, if you already watched my previous video, then you can easily make these things. So hello Mr. and I will use one function that is inbuilt function, that is its name is format, and here I will write like this, and then I will write the name of the same, and then at the time of calling I will call, means I will pass the name. So this is my name and this is my channel name, Cloudy Rathore, and if I call it, then it will print hello Mr. Cloudy Rathore. So this is how we make the function, and how easy making the function and calling the function. Okay, so this is the function without argument and function with argument. But as I already told you, no need to bother about the data type. So if I pass something, for example, if I pass some number like number 17, and if I run it, then it will also run the same hello Mr. 17, because Python is a dynamically typed language, so it's automatically recognized which type of data type it is. Okay, now we have one more function, means we have a special function in Python, and its name is anonymous function, means the function without name, the anonymous function. Okay, so we need to how to make this function. Okay, so first of all we just need to write a variable name. So for example, the variable name is OP equals to lambda. So okay, so anonymous function is also called as lambda function. Okay, so I will write one variable name of lambda function, and then we will write the operation on that variable. Right, now how to use it? Okay, so if I want to use it, then I need to write OP of, for example, any number, so OP of 3. And now if I run the same, then I will get this number 6. So how it work actually? So OP is a variable, okay, and now OP equals to lambda a colon a into 2. Now a is a lambda variable, okay. Now so whatever, when we call the lambda function, the OP of 3, so this 3 is assigned to this a, and then we'll done the operation on this a into 2, that is 3 into 2, that is 6, and it will return that the result to this function, and here we got the output. Okay, now I will show you by one more example. So but before going with the example, I will tell you what is this anonymous function is. So this function can take any number of argument, and it returns only one value in the form of expression. Now this function cannot be direct call to the print because it required an expression. So many times when the question arises, then why lambda? So yeah, we have one good function, means the function with traditional definition, that is def keyword. Then why we need to go for the lambda function? So sometimes we require a nameless function for a short period of time, and we at that time we use lambda. So we generally use it as an argument to a higher order function. So whenever we want to pass the argument to the higher order function, we used to use this lambda function. Okay, now I will show you one more example. So for example, if I write, means the traditional function, that is if I write the power, this is my function name, if I pass one argument, so this is n is the argument. Now I will return the lambda a colon power of n comma a. So here I will try to return the lambda function. Okay, and now here I will again suppose my power equals to, so my power is a variable right now. Okay, so my power is a variable, so power for example power of 3, and then I will try to print my power. Now up till now this my power is a variable, means it look like a variable, means whatever the power function will return, it will store the value, means the my power this variable will store the value. But suddenly the behavior of the my power will change, because right now I will pass one argument to this variable, and right now this variable will act like a lambda function. Now I will show you how. So I will run it, and here I got the output, that is 27. Now how I got this output, that is 27? Because as soon as okay, here I pass the argument 3 to this function, that is this is a classical function with def keyword. So here as soon as I pass 3, that 3 is assigned to this n, because because this is a classical function, so the argument is assigned to this n. Now we required one more value, because we have one more variable here, so we required one more value. And here as soon as I wrote this my power of 3, now this 3 is assigned to this lambda. this 3 is assigned to this lambda a, and this a is assigned to this a, and here we got the output 3 3s are 3 to the power 3 3s are 9 3s are 27. So and here we got the value 27, because as soon as I wrote in this way, so this my power variable will act like a lambda function, because I returning this lambda. So this is the beautiful example of this lambda function, and I really like this lambda function. Apart from this, we have several inbuilt functions, just like we have ABS function in Python. So this ABS function returns the absolute value of a number. Then we have all functions. I will also write the definition of this function in a description, or you can see my previous videos to refer with the foundation, the basics of Python. If you want to go with the basics of Python, you can refer my previous videos. Okay. Now we have all functions, so it returns true if all the elements in an object is true. Then we have any function. Then this any function, so any element is true, then it will work. Then I want to put alphabet, and I need ASCII value of the same. So we have ASCII function for the same. Then we have a special function, that is filter function. This filter function returns an integer where the items are filtered through a function to test if the items in the is accepted or not. But if we go with the definition, it's very hard to understand how this function works. So I will show you by one example. So I will make it comment, and then I will show you how this filter function works. So for example, if I have one list, that is 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. So I have a list x, and if I write the function even number, and I will pass I will write the list name is no. So it's a no, the number of list. Okay, and suppose I pass one argument to the even number, because I have to pass. And then if I write the logic, so the simplest logic of this is x mod of 2 equals to 0, so it means it is even number. So I will return true. Okay, otherwise I will return false. So return false. Okay, so we made one function, we create one function, that is the to find out the even numbers. If the value is divisible by 0 with remainder 0, divisible by 2 with remainder 0, then it is even, otherwise it is not even. Now it's time to see the logic or the function of filter functions. So if I write my even equals to filter functions. Now filter function requires 2 arguments. Okay, so the first argument is the function name, okay, by which we are trying to filter out, and the second argument is the iterable, means the list or any things you can iterate. So I will write even number even number, and second one is my iterable. Okay, now see the magic. if I write for x in my event, so here I will get all this filtered value. So if I write this in this way, print x. Okay, now it's time to run it. And here we got the output. We only got the output, that is 2468. Now the question is, it can also do the same thing if we write a print statement here. But no, filter function, it returns an iterable where the items are filtered through a function to test if the item is accepted or not. If item is accepted, then it will store the value. So in this object, we are storing only that value which are accepted, and that's why with a for loop we are succeeded to print all these things. Now one more function I like most, and I like to tell you about the same. That function name is format function. As I the moment before, I also use that function too. So that function name is format, and it return a specified value in a in a specified format. And the syntax of format is format, now see, format, and then value and format specifier. Here you can see the suggestion by the PyCharm. So format, value, comma, format specification. Now I'll show you how it works. For example, if I try to write some number in a binary, then for example 65, if I try to print it, I don't know whether it will work or not, but still I will try. And then okay, so format argument must be string and not int. Okay, so this is 65 comma, and here okay, I pass a wrong argument. So here I will write b, and then if I run the same, okay, unexpected, oh sorry, and now here we got the output, that is the binary of 65 is 1000001. Now in the same way, the easiest way, the value or the binary value of 10, we know 1010, and here we got the output, that is the binary of 10 is 1010. In the same way, you can get the output in decimal format, in octal format, then hex format, then in percentage format also. And you can also use this format function in a print statement to display some value. Okay, one more function I like, and that function name is map function. So map function execute a specified function for each item in an iterable. And as I already told you, if we go with the definition, it always make confusion. So instead of going with the definition, we will go with the hands-on. So we will try one example, and then we'll try to understand how this map function works. Okay, now how this map function work. So for example, if I write, okay, first of all, let's go with the syntax. So here we have map function, and map function require two arguments. The first argument is function, and second one is iterable. Okay, now for example, if I have x equals to for example 1 comma 2 comma 3, so it is enough right now. Then y equals to for example, we have 1 2 and 3, right? So we have one function, that is my map. So I'll write the function name my map, and I will provide two arguments. So for example, I'll give I and j. You can give anything, just like x and y. Okay, and now return x plus y. So we'll go with the easiest way. Okay, the only motto is to understand how this function works, and that's why instead of going with the difficult example, we just add two numbers. Okay, now it's time to understand the map function. Okay, so for example, z equals to map of so as I already told you, map takes two arguments. The first is the function name, so our function name is my map, and the second is the iterable. So we have two iterable, means we have two lists. So I'll pass x comma y, this two list, and then I will print z. Okay, now here we are just fulfilling the requirement of this map function, and that's why we make this function and this two iterable, because map functions takes two argument. The first argument is a function name, and the second argument is the iterable. So we have two iterable and one function. So here we have one function, the easiest functions, which add two numbers, and we have this two iterable, that is x equals to 1 to 3 and y equals to 1 to 3. Okay, and now here we are trying to print this the value of z, and here as soon as I will try to run it, and here okay, we got the object map okay, we need to unpack this object. So to unpack this object, you can even use for loop. You can write this star in front of z, and here we got the output, that is 1 1 2 2 3 3. So it maps this iterable with this iterable, means the first element is mapped with the first element, the second element is mapped with the second element, and the third element is mapped with the third element. So how this map function works. And now we have one more function, and that function name is zip. So how this zip function work? So instead of going with the definition, I will show you directly the example of the zip function. So I will first take one iterable, for example 6. Then I will take the second iterable, and the second iterable is okay. Instead of taking lots of numbers, I will just finish with few numbers. So these are 2 and 3. Okay, now how zip function works. So z equals to a zip of x comma y. Okay, and now it's time to print it. So print the value of z, and here we got the output. Okay, again I done the same mistake, that is unpack the z, and then here we got the output, that is we got the tuple of this zipped, means two iterable, that is 1 1 2 2 and 3 3. So this is how we use different functions in Python, because using functions in Python is an awesome experience, as I already told you. So if you like this video, please subscribe my channel, and we will see you in next one. Till then, bye bye.